Task 20B requires of us to create a spreadsheet model that's going to display the times table for any number that we choose to enter. We're also going to be wanting to print the spreadsheet showing values and formula. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a field over here in A1, which is going to be the number that I want to multiply by. I'm going to put in a value of 5. So I'm going to do the 5 times table. In cell B1, I'm going to enter times table as a header so we know what this is about. Okay. And I'm going to put in here under A3, put in number 1, in A4, put number 2, and that sets my pattern. If I left click and drag down, I can highlight it, move the mouse to the corner till where the pointer changes to this plus sign, and then left click again and drag down. I can automatically fill whatever amount I want to have. Let's go up to number 24. Okay, in B3, I'm going to want to put a formula in that is going to refer to A5, okay, and refer to the number next to it. So this is going to be the times table. 1 multiplied by 5 is what I want over there. So my equation is going to be equal to this one multiplied by A1. Okay, now I need to copy this formula down all the way through, but here comes the point of absolute or relative referencing. Okay, and it's a very difficult concept to understand. What I would like to just do is to show that I am wanting to have the formula always be the cell next to the one I'm going to be copying into multiplied by A1. It always has to multiply by A1 regardless of where I am. Let's say I'm over here doing the 12 times the number. It is going to equal to the one left to it, which is 12 multiplied by A1. Here it will be the one next to it multiplied by A1. Every single time I want to multiply by A1. If I copy and duplicate the formula down rather than typing it, I will save a lot of time. And the way to duplicate is to move the mouse again to where they've got the formula and left click and drag down. It automatically copies the formula through. But the formula is going to be incorrect because this first formula doesn't have absolute referencing. It only has relative referencing, which means that I'm going to copy that relative shape basically down. So if I look at this one and I highlight over here, this function, this formula that I've got in is referring to A3 multiplied by A1. But in relative terms, it is actually, this function says, multiply the one next to it with the one 3 above and next to. Okay, so we're going to keep that shape. So look at that shape. And if I take a look at the function down here, the formula down here, look at it. I have that same shape, the relativity of these cells. In other words, it doesn't worry about the numbers in that, it worries about the pattern. So if I had to go and copy this thing across to that way, then the formula over here is going to refer to this one, multiply by that one. Let's take a look, put it in here. You see it's kept the same pattern. So that is using relative referencing. So I'm wanting to change this formula to have an absolute reference. I always want to refer to A1, and the way to do it is to put in the dollar sign, so absolute referencing. The shortcut is to press the F4 button while I've selected the cell that I want to absolute reference, press the F4 button, and I insert automatically the dollar signs. So there I have got absolutely referenced formula, and now what it says here is multiply the one next to it with A1. And that A1 won't ever change as I copy the formula across. So I'm going to copy it down. I can either click and drag, or better yet, I can go to this point and double click and it automatically fills in. Okay, so this is my 5 times table. The formulas are using an absolute and relative reference, relatively reference to the one next to it, absolutely reference to A1. I hope that you see that. Okay, so if I change my number over here, let's make it a 9 times table, then it will automatically update based on the figure I've got there. So that is task 20B complete. Let's save it and we're done.